Days of Our Lives is no stranger to betrayal, heartbreak, and redemption. But now, one of Salem's most complicated characters finds himself at a breaking point. Doug Williams III has hit rock bottom after being exposed as the man behind the infamous necklace theft. And now, his relationship with Julie Williams, the one person he thought he could always count on, is shattered. But is all hope lost? Not quite. In today's deep dive, we're exploring 3 possible roads to redemption for Doug, and how each one could be the key to winning back Julie's trust, or losing her forever. Let's break it down. Let's start with what could be the most dramatic, and potentially the most effective, road to redemption for Doug Williams III, becoming a hero. Right now, Doug isn't just in the doghouse, he's completely cut off. After Julie discovered the truth about the stolen necklace, her reaction was swift and unforgiving. She didn't just confront him. She didn't cry or demand an explanation. She threw him out. No second chances. No room for discussion. And why? Because this wasn't just about a necklace. To Julie, this was personal. It wasn't about the object. It was about what it represented: trust, loyalty, and a shared sense of family honor. Doug didn't just steal jewelry. He stole her faith in him. But here's where things get complicated. Behind all of Julie's anger is pain. She's hurt, deeply, but not emotionally detached. She may say she's done with Doug, but her heart hasn't caught up with her words. She wants to forgive him. She just doesn't know how yet, or why she should. That's the opportunity Doug needs. It's not enough to apologize. Not after a betrayal like this. He needs to show, through action, that he's still the man Julie once trusted. That he's capable of choosing courage, compassion, and sacrifice over selfishness. So imagine this. Julie is suddenly in danger. Maybe it's a car accident. Maybe someone breaks into her home. Maybe a loved one, someone like Maggie, Chad, or one of the Horton great-grandchildren, ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Doug? He doesn't hesitate. He jumps in. No thought of his own safety. No time to redeem himself, just pure instinct. He protects. He shields. He saves. And in that moment, everything shifts. Julie sees the man not defined by his mistake, but by his courage. The man who may have failed her once, but who's still willing to risk everything to make it right. Because let's be honest, forgiveness doesn't always come from a clean slate. Sometimes, it comes from seeing someone fight for redemption. And if Doug can show Julie that he's still that fighter, that he's still someone who would lay down everything for her or the people she loves, it could be the spark that reopens her heart. The second path? Redemption through selfless giving. Doug doesn't just need to apologize, he needs to change the narrative. Right now, he looks like a man driven by impulse and greed. Someone who took something precious and gave nothing in return. But what if he flipped that story? What if Doug became the man who gave more than he ever took? With the hospital fundraiser right around the corner, this could be his golden opportunity. And not just any opportunity, one that's public, meaningful, and community-focused. Doug could volunteer to help plan the event from the ground up. Offer himself up for the highly anticipated bachelor auction, drawing attention and donations. Or, in the most dramatic twist, return the stolen necklace in front of everyone, not as a stunt, but as a sincere act of apology. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Doug could go further. What if he donates something deeply personal? A family heirloom, a treasured keepsake, something with real emotional value, proving that he's not just giving back, he's giving from the heart. He could also use the fundraiser to speak honestly, not just to Julie, but to the entire community. I made a terrible mistake. Not because I wanted to hurt anyone, but because I forgot who I was. I lost my way. And now, I want to make things right, not just for Julie, but for all of you. That kind of public humility could be a game changer. It wouldn't erase what he did. But it would show that Doug isn't trying to hide from it. He's facing it, owning it, and using it as motivation to do better, not just for Julie, but for everyone around him. And for Julie? Seeing Doug use his pain as a catalyst for good might just remind her of the man she once believed in, the man who always stood for more than just his last mistake. Redemption isn't about grand gestures. It's about growth, about service, about taking what's broken and building something better in its place. Doug has that chance. The question is, will he take it before it's too late? And now we arrive at perhaps the most emotional, heartfelt, and spiritually powerful redemption arc of all. Doug finds his way back, with help from beyond the grave. We can't forget the legacy behind the name Doug Williams. Doug 3 isn't just any character, he carries the name and the shadow of a Salem legend. His grandfather, Doug Williams Sr., played for decades by the beloved Bill Hayes, wasn't perfect, but he was a symbol of heart, resilience, and second chances. And no one loved him more fiercely than Julie Williams. Even after his passing, Doug Sr.'s presence still lingers in Julie's life. His memory guides her choices. His words echo in her mind. And now, in her moment of heartbreak and confusion, she may need him more than ever. So what if he reaches out? Not in a literal way, but in the way Days of Our Lives has done so well over the years, through dreams, visions, or subtle signs that feel too real to ignore. A song they once danced to starts playing on the radio. A photo falls from the shelf, landing face up. A vivid dream where Doug Sr. reminds her that love is about forgiveness, and that even those we love the most can still disappoint us. These aren't coincidences, they're emotional cues, messages meant to stir something deep within Julie. She may wake up in tears, feeling his presence, unsure if it was just her mind, or something more. In that moment, Doug Sr. isn't just a memory, he's a bridge between anger and forgiveness. He could remind Julie that he, too, once made mistakes. He had moments he wished he could undo. But in the end, it was love, enduring, imperfect, but powerful, that kept their bond alive. And maybe, just maybe, he'd ask her to show the same grace to their grandson. This storyline wouldn't just be compelling. It would be beautifully fitting, a tribute to the late Bill Hayes and the character he embodied for so long. It wouldn't magically erase what Doug 3 did. But it might help Julie soften her walls, and remember that even the most broken relationships can be healed, when guided by love from those we've lost. So now, the question becomes, where does Doug Williams III go from here? He's standing at a crossroads, torn between letting guilt consume him, or fighting for the second chance he may not deserve, but desperately needs. Will he rise up as a hero in someone's darkest moment? Will he redeem himself through selfless acts of service and giving? Or will a message from the man he was named after be the emotional key to unlock Julie's forgiveness? Because here's the truth, there's still time. But time is running out. Doug can't undo the past. But he can decide what comes next. The real question is, will Julie be ready to meet him halfway when that moment comes? Or will this betrayal be the one she never forgets, or forgives? We want to hear from you. Do you believe Doug deserves another chance? Which redemption path feels the most believable, or the most emotionally satisfying? And if you were Julie, would you open your heart again? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button if you believe in second chances. Subscribe and turn on notifications for all the latest Days of Our Lives spoilers, deep dives, and bold predictions. Because in Salem, no one is ever truly beyond redemption. But every second, every decision, counts. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and stay dramatic.